Hello and welcome to Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. Welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes. We are doing the week of the 28th of August to the 3rd of September 2023. This week I have chosen two really earthy, grounded, practical, down-to-earth kind of decks to give us really great messages. We have got the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, which is a fairly new release in the tarot community. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And this week I am pairing it with the Whispering Woods Oracle, which is a little mini deck, but honestly they work so well together. So let's get straight into it. So air signs, we're starting off with the Oracle. As I shuffle this oracle, we're asking for clarity and guidance around what is the theme for the week ahead for all air signs, for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What is going to be the overall theme of what you're going to be navigating and needing to be mindful of for the next 7 days of the 28th of August to the 3rd of September 2023 for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Right, let's cut the deck and we take a card off the top. I'm not going to turn it over just yet. I'm going to leave it there, and we will turn it over once we have finished with the tarot. So let's jump straight into shuffling the tarot, getting our message ready. So again, as we shuffle the cards, we're asking for clarity and guidance for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. For the week ahead, what do we need to know? What do we need to be mindful of? What do we need to be focusing on? And what are the kind of challenges, experiences, opportunities that you may be dealing with or navigating or experiencing this week? Okay, happy with that shuffle and cutting the cards there. Card number one that we have, oh my gosh, is the dreaded Tower card. You know, I say oh my gosh because I know everybody panics when they see the Tower card. Personally, I love the Tower card because it brings change. We have the Five of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands, and our final card that we have is the Hanged Person, Hanged Woman in this particular deck. Right, let's move the tarot out of the way. So air signs, I am going to say to you right off the bat, even before we've looked at what the theme is, we have got three challenging cards, right? We've got three challenging cards, but it ends up all right. It ends up okay. But let's see what is the theme. What is bringing all of this about? What is the theme for the week ahead? I have to laugh because, you know, pain, suffering, struggle, challenge brings growth. You know, growth is never easy. Let's have a look. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. So don't be afraid to start something new. To start something new, air signs. You know, growth is never easy. Growth is not something, yes, it happens automatically, and yes, it's gradual, but in order to grow, in order to fully develop, in order to fully become who you're meant to be, we have to struggle. We have to go through the trials and tribulations of life. So let's start off with the Tower card. So the Tower card in tarot is the card that says sudden chaos, okay? Destruction, chaos, mayhem. Things are going to collapse. Like here we have this beautiful tree house that was quite comfortable and quite happy up in the tree, but now suddenly we've got some lightning that has struck it. The lightning has actually, let's have a look, it has struck the tree. All right, and it's splitting the tree down the middle. You can see that we've got smoke and all sorts of stuff coming out. So the whole branch is falling, and we've got our two little people who were quite happily living in the little house that have now had to jump out to save themselves. But look what we've got at the bottom here. We've got two little creatures that have grabbed some fabric and are going to catch them. So that, yes, they're falling out of their house. Yes, their world is crumbling, literally crumbling around them. But it's going to be okay. Because you know what? That house, as much as it was their house and as much as it was their happy place and their place of safety and their place of protection and shelter and but maybe now, because I mean, look at the tiny little sticks. Let me bring it again closer. Look at the tiny little sticks that was holding this house up. So yes, it was resting on one branch. Have you ever heard the saying about putting all your eggs in one basket? Why is that frowned upon? Why are we encouraged not to put all our eggs in one basket? Because if the basket drops, you lose all the eggs. So maybe now that they've had this devastation, now that their world has come crumbling down, they're not going to just throw their hands up in the air and give up. No, they're going to rebuild. And when they rebuild, they're going to improve. They're going to do better. They're going to make it stronger because we learn from our mistakes. which is growth. Okay, so air signs, that is the theme for the week ahead, is about, understanding and recognizing what has come down for you, what is not working for you. I always say as well, when the tower card comes up in a reading, that it is often a warning of something that may happen. So what I mean by that is that if you take a minute to analyze your life, to look at your circumstances and say, right, what has the potential to come collapsing down on me? What can I do to reinforce it? What can I do to improve on it? What can I do to make it better? And if I do that, if I make some changes now, I can prevent a disastrous circumstance. So that's why I say it's a warning. So something in your life needs change. You need to grow. You need to evolve. And you cannot do that if you don't change. We also have, moving on to our next card, the Five of Wands. So here we have 5 birds. And again, I'm going to bring it closer. They're fighting over worms, as birds do. We've got these two. Let's just look at them, for example. They're both standing on the ground, right? They're both pulling one end of a worm. So they're not actually fighting each other. But maybe what they don't realize is they're pulling the same worm. Maybe this little wormy goes under the ground around and comes up here. So they're pulling the same worm. These two are like actually pulling the same worm. This one's got worm all by himself, and he's like sort of screaming at everybody going, I got my own worm, I got my own worm. Like it's almost like he's taunting the others. So what we have here with the Five of Wands is a card of chaos, right? So we've got chaos and we've got some chaos. Five of Wands is the card of chaos. It means like everybody's on edge. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's grabbing one worm. Everybody wants everything, okay? And even the one person who doesn't have a sparring partner, he's trying to get in on the action and going, like taunting the others, going, I have my own worm. Like he wants somebody to come and fight with him. So the Five of Wands, as I said, it is the card of chaos and conflict. It's the card of everybody's on edge and everybody's fighting. But the message of the Five of Wands is saying to you, you don't have to engage. You don't have to participate. Like, take your worm and go. If that's you, like you've got the best. These guys are all going to have to settle for half a worm. You've got an entire worm to yourself. Stop taunting. Stop trying to get involved in the chaos. Move on. Take your worm and go and eat it comfortably, happily, wherever. Don't always feel like you have to engage in the chaos. So the Five of Wands is saying that there is chaos all around you, but you do not have to participate. You do not have to engage. You actually have choice here. They didn't have choice. Well, they did up until they didn't. So do you want to wait for things to get really bad, or are you going to take your worm and go? Remember, growth. What is growth? Like, let's call it mental, emotional growth, is knowing when to engage in a fight or when to fly off and eat your worm. I'm going to encourage all of you air signs to go and buy yourself a pack of worm sweets. You get those sour worms, and every time you're feeling low this week, eat a sour worm. Remind yourself that you don't have to engage in the chaos. You do not have to engage in the chaos. So moving on to our next card, and here we have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is the card of being defensive. It's the card of defending yourself. It's the card of standing up for yourself, okay? So here we have this lady, and she is standing up against everybody else. So here is everybody else with their hands, and they're all cheering her on, but she is standing in front of everybody. She is standing loud and she is standing proud, but she is defending herself against all of this. She's trying to, much like this little bird here, trying to separate herself from the crowd and trying to go against the crowd. Seven of Wands is the card that says to you, sometimes it's really good to defend something you truly believe in, but sometimes we get into the habit of being in that defend mode when it's not really necessary. So again, growth is learning, when is it relevant, when is it appropriate, when is it good to fight, or when is it relevant, appropriate, and good to fly off. That is the growth for you. So air signs, this week you are going to have many, many, many things that are going to happen this week where you're going to have this scenario playing out for you, okay? Where things have the potential to go really bad, really wrong, really skew. But you have the choice of choosing to engage or not to engage. And often choosing to engage makes the situation worse. So rather disconnect and understand that that is the growth that you need to experience this week. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, our final card that we have for you is the Hanged One. The Hanged Woman, the Hanged Man, however you want to reference it. So here we have this lady who is hanging upside down by a tree. She has been tied up by her ankle, only her one ankle. This other one is sort of just hanging about. Let me tell you that she's put herself in that position, all right? This has not been done to her as a form of punishment. She's done this to herself as a form of punishment. But what she's doing is she is sort of making I'm going to refer to it as a self-sacrifice in order to see things from a different point of view. So instead of focusing on the collapse, she's looking at all the pieces that end up lying on the ground and she's like, well, what can I do with that? How can I make it better? She is getting a different viewpoint. But in order to get a different viewpoint, she has to literally hang herself upside down. And again, it's growth in understanding that sometimes we have to look at things differently because this chaos has been going on for a very long time in your life. This chaos, this conflict, this upheaval, this distraction has been going on for too long. And in order for you to grow, in order for you to achieve, in order for you to heal, in order for you to recover, you've got to look at things differently. So air signs, the story for you the week, the focus for you this week is growth. And growth says to you that the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling, long, long time ago. So don't be afraid to start something new. Don't feel as you have to stick with the old that doesn't work for you anymore. It's okay to break free. It's okay to look at things differently. It's okay to grow away from the thing that you're most familiar with and the thing that you're most comfortable with. But growth is something that you are absolutely going to do this week. This week. This week. All right, air signs, I wish you an amazing week ahead, as always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.